That dull ache in your knees when you get out of a chair. That frustrating brain fog that hits you mid-afternoon. That feeling of being tired, even after a full night's sleep. You tell yourself, I'm just getting older. It's normal, right? What if I told you it's not? What if those aren't separate problems? What if they're all warning lights on your body's dashboard, signaling a single, silent fire burning inside you? For the next few minutes, I want you to forget everything you think you know about aging. Because that internal fire has a name, chronic inflammation. And it's the hidden root cause behind so many of the issues that men over 40 quietly accept as their new normal. It's the reason the weight sticks to your middle, no matter how much you exercise. It's the reason you can't focus like you used to. And as we'll discuss, it can even impact what happens in the bedroom. But here's the good news. You don't have to just live with it. Stay with me, and I'll show you how to spot the secret signs of this fire, and more importantly, how you can start to put it out. For those of you who are new here, I'm Dr. Max. I'm a practicing urologist, but in my clinic, I don't just look at one part of a man's health. I look at the whole system. And I want to tell you about a patient of mine. We'll call him Mark. Mark walked into my office at 52. Successful guy, runs his own business. But he felt like he was 80. His joints ached, he was exhausted by 3 p.m., and he had this frustrating spare tire around his waist that just wouldn't budge. His family doctor gave him some painkillers for his joints and told him to lose weight. Classic advice. But nobody was asking why. Why was his body breaking down? We dug deeper, and we found the culprit. His body was on fire with inflammation. And once we started addressing the cause, not just the symptoms, everything changed. I'll tell you how he's doing at the end of this video. The first sign is one you can see in the mirror. It's that stubborn fat around your midsection. Most of us think of fat as just inactive storage, a place where extra calories go. But that's not the whole story. Specifically, the fat deep inside your belly, what we call visceral fat, is not inactive at all. It's a living, breathing organ. And it's angry. Think of it like a little factory that is constantly pumping out inflammatory signals, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. These signals travel throughout your entire body, causing damage everywhere they go. So when you're trying to burn off that belly fat with crunches or cardio, you're fighting an uphill battle. You're trying to empty a bathtub while the faucet is still running full blast. The real solution isn't just to burn more calories. It's to turn off the faucet. To calm down the inflammation that's fueling that fat storage in the first place. Here's one simple tip to start. Add more omega-3 fatty acids to your diet. Think salmon, sardines, or walnuts. Omega-3s act like a natural fire extinguisher for your cells. You don't have to change everything overnight. Just start by adding something good. Quick question, and I want you to be honest in the comments below. What is the one food you know you should probably stop eating, but just can't bring yourself to give up? Pizza? Ice cream? That morning pastry? Let me know. There's no judgment here. Seeing what everyone is up against helps us all. Alright, the second hidden sign isn't when you see, it's when you feel. It's that mental slowness. That feeling that your brain is running on dial-up internet in a high-speed world. You walk into a room and forget why you're there. You struggle to find the right word in a conversation. You feel mentally exhausted long before the day is over. This isn't a character flaw. It's biology. Your brain is connected to your gut by a superhighway of nerves. We call it the gut-brain axis. And when your gut is inflamed, often because of the food you're eating, it sends distress signals straight up that highway to your brain. Here's a metaphor. Imagine your body is a high-performance engine. Inflammation is like putting sugar in the gas tank. It doesn't just slow the car down, it gums up the most sensitive, complex part of the machine, your brain's wiring. So, how do we clean out the fuel line? We start with the gut. One of the best things you can do is introduce good bacteria. Things like plain Greek yogurt, kefir, or even sauerkraut. These foods help rebuild your gut's natural defense wall, stopping those inflammatory signals from ever reaching your brain. Okay, let's pause for a second. We've connected that stubborn belly fat, that inflammatory factory, to the fire inside. We've linked that frustrating brain fog and low energy to that same fire messing with your brain's wiring. Do you see how these aren't separate issues? They are all symptoms of the same underlying problem. But there's one more sign we need to talk about, the one that really gets men's attention. Let's talk about erectile health. A strong erection is all about blood flow. Healthy blood flow. And for blood to flow freely, the linings of your blood vessels need to be smooth, flexible, and healthy. We call this lining the endothelium. Now, think of inflammation as sandpaper. Day after day, this chronic, low-grade inflammation is scraping away at the delicate lining of your blood vessels. It makes them stiff, damaged, and narrow. Let me give you a visual. Healthy blood vessels are like brand new, flexible garden hoses. Water flows through them perfectly. Inflamed blood vessels are like old, cracked, stiff hoses left out in the sun for years. You can turn on the tap, but only a trickle comes out. Many men think erection problems are purely a testosterone issue or a psychological one. And sometimes they are. But very often, it is a blood flow problem. It's a plumbing problem. And inflammation is the number one enemy of your plumbing. Now, I can already hear some of you thinking, Dr. Max, this sounds great, but I don't have time to cook special meals. Healthy food is expensive. I'm too busy. I get it. I really do. But listen, this is not about becoming a gourmet chef or shopping only at expensive health food stores. This is about making small, smart upgrades. You don't have to give up everything you love. You just have to start tipping the balance in your favor. Swap the sugary cereal for oatmeal. Swap the soda for sparkling water. Can't afford fresh wild salmon? A can of sardines is one of the cheapest and most powerful anti-inflammatory foods on the planet. Don't let perfection be the enemy of good. Start with one small change today. To make it easy, I want to give you a simple first-step action plan. Think of this as your personal fire extinguisher. First, the 2-4-1 swap. Every day, swap just 2 inflammatory things for 2 anti-inflammatory things. Swap a slice of white bread for a slice of whole grain. Swap a sugary coffee for green tea. Simple. Second, the 10-minute move. After your biggest meal of the day, go for a brisk 10-minute walk. This helps control your blood sugar and lowers the inflammatory response to food. Anyone has 10 minutes. Third, the sleep anchor. Your body puts out fires when you sleep. Try to go to bed and wake up at the same time every day, even on weekends. This consistency is critical for hormone regulation and repair. And fourth, the water rule. Drink a large glass of water first thing when you wake up, before you do anything else. It rehydrates your system and helps flush out toxins. Easiest win of the day. That's it. No magic pills. No crazy diets. Just 4 simple habits that, over time, will extinguish that internal fire. So, what happened to Mark? The guy who walked in feeling like he was 80? He started with small changes just like these. He didn't become a health fanatic overnight. I saw him 6 months later. The first thing he told me was that he could get up from his desk without his knees groaning in protest. He lost 20 pounds, almost all of it from his midsection. But the biggest change, he said, wasn't physical. It was in his head. The fog had lifted. He felt sharp, focused, and in control again at work. He had his energy back to play with his kids. He told me, "Doc, I don't feel like a new person. I feel like myself again." And that's the entire point. This isn't about chasing some impossible ideal. It's about restoring the health, the energy, and the confidence that is rightfully yours. If this video helped connect some dots for you, do me a favor and click the like button. It's a simple, free way to help this information reach another man who might be quietly struggling and thinking it's just part of getting older. And be sure to subscribe and hit the bell, because in our next video, we're going to talk about the single most important vitamin for men over 40, and why most of us are dangerously deficient. You don't want to miss that one. Stay healthy, stay strong. I'll see you in the next video.